Here I want to play out some tactical moves in the last little bit of the race course. So let's use that arrow as the wind direction, this as the windward mark, and then maybe we'll use red and green rules boats to be starboard and port off the bat. So the first situation that I want to play through is that both boats are below the ley line. So let's just draw in a ley line here. And who makes what decision here? So if green, the original starboard boat, tacks, then red's play is to not tack until red is comfortably over the ley line. Because now red is definitely ahead of green. So that was a bad call by green to tack. And maybe we should play this out a little bit earlier to tack here. So now what if green says starboard, red ducks, green sails for a bit, green tacks, sail for a bit, red calls their ley line nicely, and then they come up to the mark here. Maybe red even bears off a little bit to make sure that they're just on the ley line. Now green tacks to leebow red, and it's anyone's guess here. You know, does green manage to shoot around the mark? Does green have to tack out and go in behind? Or did red overshoot enough that green can sneak inside? So that's a big question mark. So neither of those played out particularly well for green, even though green's theoretically had the starboard advantage. So I want to play out the way that I think is the best play here. So green calls starboard, red ducks. Now green can't tack while red is avoiding them because you don't have right of way when you're tacking. So once red has committed to ducking green, then green tacks. And now red can't tack until green is clear. So green is pinning red. So now green can get a juicy ley line, and green is in that nice position of leading to the mark. So when you're approaching the ley line, but you're not on the ley line as a starboard boat, when you're approaching the windward mark and you're not on the ley line as the starboard boat, you want to call starboard and then pin that boat to the ley line. This works even if there's another boat coming in here, because now red has to call for room to tack here. So red has to do that with enough time for you to react. And depending where blue is, you may be able to make the mark. Anyway, that's a different situation. But the play here is, as you're coming up to the ley line, don't tack. You could tack way early if you know that you can tack back. But if red is savvy and you can, as the green boat, you come in, tack. What red can do is bear off on you, so that when you go to tack, red says, whoa, 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 don't tack, don't tack. So if you're going to tack early, you want to tack way early. Tack here and then tack back. If you tack early here and you figure that you have enough room to tack back and call starboard on red, all red has to do is bear off a little bit, and then when it's time for you to tack, you actually are not allowed to cross head to wind. Even though once you've crossed head to wind, you're technically on starboard tack, you don't gain right of way until you are pointing in a close hauled direction. And even if you manage to slam tack right onto starboard, when you gain right of way by finishing your tack, you have to initially give the other boat room to keep clear. So if green managed to slam that in there, and then red has to avoid them, even though red's on port, green has fouled red there. So you have to, if you're going to tack early and then tack back, there has to be enough time that now red can respond by either ducking or tacking. So that's why it's a safer plan to tack and pin, sail to the ley line, tack and lead.